Hello everybody, and welcome back to an episode of Supreme Ruler 2020 as Japan. Last off, well, we were doing what we can in terms of rebuilding the military, particularly the army, and the economy still growing, and, well, at a great expense, rebuilding damaged, almost destroyed buildings and several new railway networks being built, and in this time of peace. And of course, to also prepare in case of any new wars that could occur. Hopefully not some nation that's randomly all the way on the other side somewhere, but rather perhaps a little closer. But that does depend on the relations, as you can see, Central Siberia, not so good. Cambodia, not really that great. India, not that great. Bangladesh, diplomatically even worse. Bhutan, even worse. As for the others, Taiwan's relations are still pretty good. People of Taiwan are satisfied, same with us, although they do have a small casus belli, at least 24%, in case of war. And of course the usual messages about domestic prices, as always. The Philippines, diplomatically pleased. The civilians, on your hand, a bit mixed. Well, more indifferent, as it says. Greater Malaysia, indifferent, but there's really nothing to do about that. Now, of course, I would like to just go to war at any moment, particularly currently the richest nation, India. However, given the fragile state of our economy and of course our still massive debt, it's probably best not to do anything for quite a long time. Also, one thing I forgot to check when it comes to rebuilding the military is the Navy, since, well, our Navy, well, did have some mixed results, particularly in the Sea of Japan and most of the engagements against the Korean Navy. And to just build up what we can, including the brand new battleships that are still being built. Well, the only battleship that we have being built in Yokosuka. As for the other ships, well, we still have plenty of submarines and destroyers. No carriers, though, which is something we had to wait until new research is done, or rather, keep trying to build up more research centers. But where else? I'll build one in Yokosuka. Another one, Kokaichi or Takatsuki. I guess Takatsuki would do. As for anywhere on the Korean Peninsula, not much space other than these land fabrications, so I'll build that right there. Pyongyang doesn't, well, what was North Korea doesn't really have any, so why not in Pyongyang? Well, not Pyongyang itself, just the military facilities. And I think that should be it for now. And checking the overall information about the finance, inflation is still going in the right direction. Unemployment is now 9%, but we don't want the unemployment to go too low, as while it's nice to see, would be nice to see no unemployment, the problem would be in the long run of building too many facilities, too many things, lots of things that could be provided for the majority of the civilian population, but you don't have enough people actually likely to be employed. So that's going to be a problem in that regard. Let's see, speaking of which, trade, no, conflict, oh yeah, regional news. Now, no news, but projections are, as always, immigration is 2 million. Immigration, 2,500,000, births, 25 million. And deaths, well, 17 million. Oh, and we now have a election. The Independence Party, which is the current ruling party, a bit odd. And the other parties are the The second highest is the Sovereignty Party, while the third is the Green Party, and 9.9% of others. Yes, I know about electrical power, but... And of course only 98 days or 97 days now to the election, but I'm not worried. Our approval rating is still pretty good, and with the Treasury and all that, I'm not going to be worried about that, of the elections. Hopefully. But let's see, let's check the military once again, particularly missile production. Right, okay, another bond renewal, that's nice to know. And my mouse is acting up again, but now it works, slightly. Research breakthrough, what is it this time? Synthetic fuel plant. Alright. So that's another research down. Let's see. Anything else that's going to be close to being finished? Not exactly, but I think I may need to start removing all of these, because I don't want too many being researched at the moment, with some exceptions. We have too many, and the designs, particularly for the military, is likely not going to occur. So it's best to just remove all these. Uranium, that's another time. Get rid of that, and Sterling solar collectors. Well, this would be nice to build, particularly in areas where the sun may be always on it most of the time, shining at certain areas during the day. But yeah, I'm gonna remove that and hope to have certain other research be done, such as telemedicine, and to start researching any of the missiles and aircraft and a submarine, hopefully. So with that, let's just check our relations. We do not have any trade with Thailand at the moment. So let's check and see what do they want. What's their finance? $3 billion in their treasury. Let's try 60 weeks of... to me that seems a little... That's too much. Well, we'll go with 952 or so tons, or whatever. And how much would that be? $127 million. Right. Okay, 60 weeks, but that really does seem a bit too much. Let me try to make a reasonable price, including when selling some technology. Oh, I meant this. 60 weeks. 127, let's increase to... 127 is about this way much. So let's try $54 million. Water reclamation. I have a feeling this isn't not gonna work at all. Nope. Even though it's only, at least in the in-game, about 54.6 million, which is not really that much. Not really that much when you compare it to the amount, well, the similar amounts that could be a little more expensive, which would be understandable. But still. Well, in the end, might as well give try 50 days instead. $50 days, and move that. Let's... not that. Give them that. Now, will this work? Probably not. And nothing. Still wouldn't work. It's always the case with the AI in this game that's well, pretty much stingy no matter what. What about Tibet? We have nothing trading right now. We have a pretty massive amount of industrial goods. Consumer goods also. Let's try 30 days each of all of this, about $265 million. Finance. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Let's try that again. Daily about... Well, considering most nations won't be cheap. Well, not that. Once again, my mouse acting up. Oh. Advanced chemistry, blah blah blah. I'll give them 30 days to consider. And that's one trade done. Nothing else going on other than armies being constantly growing in size bit by bit. Even in nations that probably don't have the capacity to produce too much, but still buying whatever units that are likely to be bought. But anyway, we got a new trade agreement with Tibet for about a month later. About a month at least. Argentina and Brazil are still at war. Argentina's got a good amount of money in their treasury. So... well, I might as well just sell some technologies, particularly anti-air defenses, common missiles. Metal Storm? No. Unmanned aerial observation. Why not? And they will give me $650 million compared to the offered amount, but the request is obvious. So, do that. What does Taiwan want? 467.66 million. Well, sorry, $467 billion. At least no, sorry. I always do seem to get the numbers a little mixed up here. That's for 14,029 tons of military goods. Done. Another election update. Our Independence Party is still in the lead and still rising. Green Party, Sovereignty Party, and whatever party 1% down, or 0.1% down now. Sovereignty Party, I think this was down, I guess. I don't know. But we are still in the lead. Actually, which other nations are having an election? Oh. Thailand has an election. New unit design from Nepal. AMS 120mm mortar artillery. Alright. Tibet? Nope. Inner Mongolia? Okay. Inner Mongolia does have some... they're having their own elections. Too bad there's no really any sort of information of what kind of party is currently in power. I mean, it's nice to know what type of government, but what party? Not so much. Anyway, let's move along and see if any other nations are having any elections, or in this case, new alliances. Libya and Armenia. Greece. 14 days left. Alright, so their elections are almost done. Macedonia, same thing. Bulgaria, oh. So their government already had an election, but the former current one was defeated. And of course, it will not say which type of government. Doesn't really affect our ratings, of course, but still. Who else? Regional government re-elected. Okay, that's nice to know for Romania. Moldova is the same. Ukraine, regional government defeated. Alright, Belarus, research. Lithuania re-elected. Moscow, new alliance. Marseille. Let's see. Estonia defeated. Finland, another 14 days for their election. Sweden and Norway. 14 days. 14 days. West Germany, 28 days. England, 28 days. Okay, looks like most of the British and Irish island nations are the same thing for their elections. Cuba, the UN Protectorate. Don't know when exactly the UN Protectorate would have their own elections. California, new alliances. But their treasury is still just as high. Actually, what about Washington, D.C.? Medical gene therapy. Okay, it's not shown here, but still. What do they have? Telemedicine. Healthcare cost is reduced by 5%, but rating goes up. How much does that cost? Okay, maximize about that much. Yeah. Why not? It's worth the price. Actually, I may need to look and see what technology that I can buy. Multi-stage rockets? We don't have advanced ballistic missiles. Agrogenetic modifications. That's not yet. Nuclear reactors. 21st century aircraft. Wait a minute, we need multi-stage rockets, but we need advanced ballistic missiles. Very unfavorable in the world opinion, though. But we'll need advanced attack helicopters just to get rid of that research done. How much will that be? Not that much. Okay, I'll accept for that price. The price that they're willing to pay. Allies shortages? Really? Right. Okay, we now have a problem. Again. No water in stock. Any other stocks that are becoming a problem now? Not exactly. Just the water, and that's it. Production and... oh god, the demand. Yeah, the demand is definitely going to be the biggest problem. We're going to need a lot of waterworks. And I do mean a lot. $146, $133. Let's just fill these out a bit. Another bond renewal. Let's see. Anywhere else that could produce a amount of water? 185, 130. Well, these areas produce a certain amount of water. $189, $183, and that's it. Got this trail waterworks, but I'll just leave that alone. Domestic brew is on a negative trend. Financial inflation is now negative 1.4. Unemployment 8.9. Alright. Now is that problem done? Nope. Stock is still a problem because of the production capacity. Oi. Okay, countdown to election again. 69 days. Okay, the other party got its 0.1% back. The other parties... just slight changes. Water, water, water. We do need a lot of water. Oh? Okay, I'll fill that one. And this. Anywhere else I can produce a large amount of water initially? In these cities, not that much. Just ignore that for now. Right over here. Of course, it does drain the supply, the treasury, unfortunately. But we're gonna need water. And a lot. It's a pretty good patch here. Build 2 in this village, just to be safe. $209 and $215. And the waterworks take about 80 days to be completed. And I might as well just spend a little bit more. No. Anywhere here? Nah, there's not really that much in that area. What about these areas? Ooh. Alright, fill those out. And I guess that's it before I check this. Same thing, but that's another time. Oi. Well, the stock has gone back up now. Demand is as always. But as you can see, the demand and actual usage is massive. When you look at our population, it's not surprising. Actually, we are at the top in terms of population. Right. While Indonesia only has 250 million people. Brazil 200 million. One that's slightly above a million people, Nebraska. And those that are less, Qatar, and the bottom is the Yukon Territory. Right. Saudi Arabia, Iran, Texas, probably Nigeria eventually. Of course, are the only nations that have quite a massive amount of money in their treasury. Unemployment is now 8.8. That's actually that's not a good sign. I may need to reduce the unemployment tax rate just a bit. Well, we'll keep it at 5% for now. Not sure how that would do. Railways that are being built are going to be rather slow. But this kind of massive project will take time anyway. And another bond's been, well, bought. Greater Malaysia wants 30 days wants to give $11 million for filler days. Well, they ask for, why not? We could use more trade anyway. Actually, speaking of which, I am in need of more trade. Yep, Tibet is almost done. Well, we're gonna need even more trade, hopefully. Let's go with weekly for something that they would need. Coal. Well, why not? We have a huge amount of coal. Or make that monthly, actually, for about 2 months. This amount. And how much would that be? $1 million. Just $1 million. Really. That's just, about, 54,000 tons. 10 million this time. No, don't want 12, don't want 11. Let's go with, I suppose $9 million would do for 2 months. But will they accept? Yes, they will. And monthly isn't really gonna work in the short term, though. No, well, we do have trade with West Germany. Greece. Actually, what happened to your elections? Ah, the regional government has been re-elected. That's nice. Well, let's see. Timber, Macedonia. Let's try Bulgaria. Their economy is somewhat strong, so let's try and get some trade. Well, they could... Well, they probably would need some food for 52 weeks in this case. I'm not gonna bother changing the amount of days at least. Whoops. How much would that be? $72 million. Wait, how much would they... Nah, they wouldn't show. Let's try... Oh, too high. $42 million, and let's see. Yes, they'll accept. The economy's back on track now. Probably from construction projects being done. But let's see, who else has a strong economy? Not the ones that I might conquer, but... Iran. Probably not due to the relations. South Africa. No alliance, and probably gonna be strained relations anyway. And they do seem to be self-sufficient, actually, with the exception of the problem of petrol. Industrial, no. Oops, didn't mean to do that kind of zoom. Want to check. Bond renewal. Nice. Trade has been successful. Diplomatic exchange, I should say. And elections. Uh-oh. The whatever other party is now 10%. Our party is reduced. Sovereignty Party has only slightly increased. Yeah, this isn't good. Actually, I may need to try to reduce taxes just a bit. There's only a slight differences, but that's about it. And... well, I guess that's about it. Once February 20th arrives, And there we go. Our economy has shrunk. No surprise. But I'm going to stop right here. And I hope you enjoyed this. No conflict again. Just to try and get our really fragile economy up. And hopefully not be defeated in the... Well, our regional government not be defeated in the upcoming elections. But hopefully we might be able to turn this around. And see that the economy jumps back up once the building projects are done. But I hope you enjoyed this, and see you again in the next episode.